Well, tax assessments for Cook County are out, and the messages that are coming in on my email right now through the roof. Value went up $80,000, $90,000, over $100,000 in an increase in assessed tax value. What does it mean? How can we fight these things? Because at the end of the day, if your taxes go up, your payment goes up. And yes, we have ways to make sure that we can limit your tax liability. So I'm going to give you 7 of them. Let's dive right in. My name is Janine Sasso. I'm your local real estate agent right here in the Chicagoland market, and I'm excited to help you stay in your home and make it affordable. Tip number 1, when it comes time to make sure your taxes are not going through the roof, limit your home improvement projects, especially the ones that are requiring permits. If you are looking to improve a home and you're pulling a permit, this now tells the tax assessor that you have made improvements to your home that you should be taxed on, meaning your taxes go up. So if you have a project that you have planned and you already have a higher assessed value, make sure that you really evaluate, is this a necessity? Is this something we need to do? Because home improvement projects are one of the number one reasons that our taxes go up. The second tip when it comes to lowering your assessed value for tax purposes is to make sure you really look and see if it's assessed correctly. Example, if you have a 3-bedroom home and it's assessed for $310,000, your neighbor has a 4-bedroom home and it's assessed for $300,000, you see how there's already a discrepancy. So maybe talk to a couple of your neighbors, see where they're currently at on their assessed value, and see if you can find things that are not correct. Going in and appealing this might help you to get your tax liability reduced. One of the best tips that I can give you when it comes to your taxes is to make sure you are taking every single exemption that you are entitled to in the books. So if you are a homeowner that occupies your property, you should for sure have the homeowner exemption on your property, which will reduce your tax liability. Now, you also have other exemptions, such as a senior exemption, a senior freeze exemption. You do have a veterans exemption out there. So make sure you are taking really advantage of everything that's available to you. And remember, for some of these exemptions, you have to reapply every single year in order for it to stay on. So make sure you know the rules, and you can find them at your county's assessor's website. Number 4, and you'd be surprised how many times we actually find number 4 being one of our biggest tax savings. You want to look at your tax bill and you want to really see, do you have all the information that's on there accurately displayed? Example, it says in your tax records you have 3 bathrooms, but you really only have 2. Well, you may want to point that out because this is something that is not accurate. And if you have less bathrooms, then you should be assessed on less tax liability. If you have square footage, it's another one that you can look for. Is your square footage listed correctly? We want to make sure that the lower the square footage, the lower the tax liability. Your bedrooms, all of these items are things that you can check to make sure you're really assessed in the best possible way. Number 5, when it comes to lowering your tax liability for your assessed value, maybe you want to get a second opinion. Not only can you bring somebody like me in there to start the process, you can also reach out to an independent appraiser, and I promise I have the best ones in the industry that you can work with. So if you need help and you want to have an independent appraisal done, then reach out. Now, an independent appraisal is not free. If you have an appraiser come in, you will have a bill of a couple $100, but it might be worth the effort. Now, if you have me come in, I will not charge you for that. So maybe a good way to start is just to have a conversation with me first. Tip number 6, and this one is a little bit more of a comical one, but I wanted to throw it out there. It depends on who you're talking to when it comes to the value of your home. If you have the tax assessor, you really want to look like you're living in a shack. If you are talking to your buyer, your potential buyer, if you're looking to sell, you want to, of course, make your house look like a castle. So depending on who you're talking to, here's a couple different scenarios of one house and how we make it sound when we talk to different people. And the very last tip I have for you is, of course, to hire a person that can fight the taxes for you. We have tax attorneys in our area, and if you want to know one that I typically recommend because they do get results for all of my Cook County residents, please make sure you reach out. I would love to share the recommendations with you. My name is Janine Sasso. I'm your local real estate agent, and my job is not just to buy and sell houses, but also to make sure that you're in them happily with the best possible taxes ever.